terrorists. We're not no gangsters. We revolutionaries, and that's how we.
News, West Coast controversy, Jack. Hey, BJ don't even know what I'm about to ask her, bro. But this question has been burning in my brain, man, for the last year or two because I've been getting different answers on this topic. So I'm finna open up this EP with a video of Ice Cube back in 1991 when a reporter asked him about where he is from. All right, and then we're gonna bring Cap in to give his commentary and his opinion about this subject. But here we go.
South Central Los Angeles, United States of America.
Is that Watts or?
No, it's like South Central. Watts is in South Central Los Angeles. South Central Los Angeles is made up of a whole bunch of little cities. You know, so it's Watts, Compton, Inglewood. And, you know, all that makes up South Central Los Angeles. Yeah.
All right, now, Cap.
Interesting.
I know it's interesting. So this is my confusion. Now, I've been coming back and forth to LA for the last 3-4 years. All right. It has always been my understanding that South Central LA, Watts, which first of all, South Central LA is a section in Los Angeles. Watts is its own entity, is its own city inside Los Angeles. The same for Compton and the same for Inglewood. And if you really take it back, Inglewood has their own mayor, they have their own city council, and they have their own police department. So, Cap, please, for the let's set the record straight. Is there a difference between South Central LA, Watts, Compton, and Inglewood?
You bet your ass it is.
Oh shit! Goddamn!
You bet your ass it is. The mighty W is the W. Hey, listen, man, check this out. First and foremost, I see the clip right there, and what I think that was young Ice Cube. That was the still growing Ice Cube right there, you know, mentally. So what Cube was saying, basically, he wasn't wrong. His wording just wasn't.
Stop trying to save that nigga, Cap.
No, I ain't trying to save him. I'm just telling you the real facts, though. His wording was off, bro. He was trying to explain basically was, and I'm gonna break it down right now. What he was trying to explain is what I'm gonna explain. Watts was a region within itself. Watts was his own city, like you just said once upon a time. We merged over here, and Watts was a city of ranching, farmers and ranching in the 1900s. So in the 1900s, we didn't consolidate over to Los Angeles, the city itself, and become a consolidation of Los Angeles into 1926. You feel me? So Watts has always been a city within itself. So when everybody was merging and descending from the South, as far as Alabama, New Mexico, not New Mexico, but South Carolina, North Carolina, New Orleans, Texas, you name it. They had two choices. They couldn't get off the train in Union Station in Los Angeles. It was all predominant, all white. It wasn't happening. You had two choices. You either was getting off the train in Watts, or you was going to stay on the train and keep pushing Northern California up north and get off up in Oakland and work your way from Oakland to San Francisco, but primarily Oakland because it was all predominant black. And this is why Northern California gets so much credibility and is so much connected with the South because a lot of the Southern swag, the Southern ways, the Southern styles are still embedded from the South in Northern California. So it became South Northern. We are the South region of Los Angeles. So we are the South. So everything was covered from the South became Southern of Los Angeles, which is Southern Los Angeles. South Central is a region itself within Los Angeles, which makes up southern Los Angeles. So basically, if you take out the word South Central, which primarily would be a section in Los Angeles itself, which is South Central. But if you can't take out the word Watts or Inglewood or Compton as far as Los Angeles, because they were already separated from Los Angeles back in the 1900s before they became consolidated as a part of the city of Los Angeles. That's why it's called Southern Los Angeles. People get it mixed up and call it South Central and think Watts, Inglewood, and all these different regions are a part of South Central when we're not. And that's what Cube was wrong at. You know what I mean? He probably just didn't know. He was speaking on what he thought he knew growing up in South Central, because he did literally grow up in South Central in the 111 hood, which is South Central.
All right, so Cap, I got a question. So basically, what you're telling us is, if you was a black and you was migrating to the west, and when you hopped on that train, and once you arrived to Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, the only stop you could get off on was the train station in Watts.
Yeah, where else you was gonna go? Compton was predominantly white. It was the farms. You know what I mean? It had sprinkles of blacks in Compton then, but those blacks were considered, the upper, middle class. Their moms and dads had money, they or had good jobs or worked for the factories, in the 1950s and 40s and things of that nature. When you came on that train coming to Los Angeles and thought you were going to go down to Union Station and get off and then work your way to the Valley or work your way anywhere in Los Angeles, it wasn't happening. It was not happening. Why you think they consolidated all us blacks into one area? And why you think Watts became the hub? We are the umbrella of Los Angeles, bro. Watts, the mighty W. We are the fucking umbrella. Always have been. You know what I'm saying? So Compton was considered as the farms, which was another separate region within their own city. Feel me? That's why Compton had their own policing. They got their own polices as well. So Inglewood, like you just broke down Inglewood about the Inglewood mayor, they having their own mayor, their own city councilmen, all these things as far as the politicians. Each one of these regions have those same entities. Mayor Omar Bradley, the great Mayor Omar Bradley from Compton, you know what I mean? One of the ex-homies, ex-Pyro, he was from Compton, born and raised. If I ain't mistaken, I know he was raised there, not born, but definitely raised. But he became the mayor of Compton.
Okay.
So Compton have their own entities, their own separation until everything was consolidated within Los Angeles. So when we get caught in situations, or we go to jail, or niggas are out of town, out of state, cats don't holler, "Oh, I'm from LA." Niggas will say I'm from LA, but they'll say I'm from Watts, LA, or I'm from LA, but I'm from Watts. I'm from the city, the Los Angeles city, but I'm from Watts. I'm from the city of Los Angeles, but I'm from Inglewood, homie. Or niggas just flat out say I'm from Watts. No, I ain't from LA, I'm from Watts. I'm from Inglewood, I'm from Compton.
That's interesting you said that, because I'm gonna bring up this news article that was very controversial, which kind of made the topic hot again. O3 Greedo basically told all the LA platforms this right here. As we can see, O3 Greedo tells people to stop calling him a LA rapper. I'm from Watts. So on the Instagram platform, O3 Greedo made a post, as y'all can read right here. He said to all the media people, "Yes, I love California and the county of Los Angeles, and will bring my area to the top of the game this year. But," and he got this capitalized, "but I am not from LA, the city. No, I am from Watts. So LA rappers is not how y'all finna introduce me, cuz."
Okay. Shout out to Greedo, young Greedo doing his thing. Hey, listen, he representing the W, nigga, the mighty W. What I represent? I represent this W to the fullest. Yeah. As well as I'm from the city. I'm from the city of Los Angeles. This is my city. Don't get it fucked up. I love my city, but nigga, I'm a regional Watts man. I'm a Watts native. So I represent that W to the fullest. And that's how he feel. But he feel that way based on, I see where he coming from and where he strategizing, which is a good thing, because just to use an example, a lot of cats look at my little homie J Rock in the game as from the Nixon Guards, as a bounty hunter, because the way he was labeled as a rapper. But then you got cats outside of that who are from other states or other countries are going to look at him specifically, oh, he's from Los Angeles. He's from the city of LA. They don't understand the breakdown as far as the regions. Oh, he's from Watts. He ain't from LA. He was born and raised in Watts in the projects. Which means it's cats in them projects ain't never seen South Central or south side of Los Angeles or the La Brea Tar Pits, which is west of Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand this shit that, other people who live outside of it, of course, looking in, they ain't going to understand that. So what Greedo is doing is he's separating himself and letting it be known so that the world will understand it as well. That, hey, I'm a Watts native first. Yeah, I rep LA. I love LA. I love Los Angeles County, but we're a region within the county. They consolidated us with LA. If they would never consolidate us, Watts would be separated right now today still. Compton to be separated, Inglewood to be separated, and so on. That's Long Beach. You feel me? So these were all separate regions of the county of Los Angeles, bro. And I shit like it started in the 1900s. Like I said, we were farmers and farming. And then in 1907, you know what I mean? Our first original name was Mudtown. Watts was called Mudtown before it was called Watts. And then it took on the name C.H. Watts when a couple ended up buying the region, buying the whole entire city, a black couple. So it became the city of Watts. And then in 1926, we were consolidated to the city of Los Angeles, southern Los Angeles.
All right, now, Cap, to go to really clarify this, I remember an old song by Zappy Rogers, So Rough, So Tough. And in that hook, he say, in the city of LA, in the city of Watts.
That's right.
So
separation.
Separation, okay. Yeah.
Knowing the history of it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like we used to have, like, in the 60s and the 70s, going into the 70s, but the early 60s, I'm a kid at that time then, but our parents and during the 50s and coming into the early 60s, when Watts were producing and giving their own venues and concerts, that was a city within itself. Whitey wasn't welcome over there. The only thing white was over there was the police. That was the only thing over there white was the police. Whitey wasn't welcome on that side. It's like we wasn't welcome on this side. And then a transition took place where when wars started taking place, this is why the projects was built, and they was building the barracks. That's why they look like army barracks, because the World War I and II came, and you had so many single mothers whose husbands and sons was going off to the war getting recruited. So they built the projects in the 1940s, 1943, 1945. Then we arrived in 1955. So they built these housing projects. William Nixon Gardens, Jordan Down Housing Projects, Imperial Courts, Hacienda Village, which is now known as Gonzales B Village, which is still Hacienda Village to me. You feel me? I'm not going to never rectify it and call it in that aspect, because it was basically hijacked. The name was hijacked. The projects was hijacked based on politics and regentrification. And so, and this is going to happen throughout, bro. Believe it or not. Sad as to say it sounds, but it's the truth. It's facts. And so, Watts has always been a historical monument. That's why they want their hands on it now. They want their hands on it now. But before, they didn't want their hands on it. They gave it to us and let us be. And so this is why you had so many black families and black parents dissenting and getting off the train right there in Watts. And they was making a choice to go left or right across the tracks to either one of these housing projects. And then from there, families would start being produced. And then, of course, you got your sisters, you got your brothers, you got your brothers got kids. Now here they come from whatever city or whatever town you descended from. Here they come live with you in the same projects, get a low income housing project like you. And now here's 5 or 6 families in the projects, generations. And that's why with so many generations in our neighborhoods and in our community of Watts are kin to each other. That's why so many niggas got relatives and, you know what I mean, different bloodlines from marriages or families, you know what I mean? You got 2 daughters and your daughters got kids from such and such and these such and such bloodlines. So it's so many bloodlines that's descended in the Watts. So it's always been a separate city within itself until we consolidated into South Los Angeles. Not South Central, South Los Angeles. Facts.
Well, there you go, folks.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that was interesting. You hit me with that topic right there, huh? Good topic, slick ass. Good topic. Good topic with your slick ass. Yeah, no, that was very interesting because that's something that needs to be spoke on and talked about because, like I say, a lot of people don't understand that. You know, a lot of people just figure, you know, oh, LA is LA and LA is Los Angeles and run everything. No, this is why you would never have no one individual that can control the city of Los Angeles. Like certain cities, you know, you hear about the big wigs and certain big dogs, and one particular big dog, he was that man of the city. Well, see, we got too many big wigs like that that's in this city that has expanded within different regions and counties of this city because the city is so big and there's so many different regions and counties. So it would be impossible for one man to control the entire city. You feel me? It's just like going to New York. You know what I mean? Bumpy Johnson didn't control the Bronx. Bumpy Johnson didn't run Queens. Bumpy Johnson didn't run Staten Island. You know what I mean? And let me get my pronunciation right because they're gonna eat me up. You feel me? So anyway, the 5 barrels, right? Out of them 5 barrels, he ran one, which was Harlem. He controlled Harlem, not the Bronx. He had shit to do with the Bronx. He could come down in the Bronx and tell them cats down in the Bronx what time it was and what to do because they already had big wigs in the Bronx. Same as Brooklyn, Queens. Feel me? So it's too big. The city is too big, bro, for any one individual to control it in that aspect. Even back in the 1930s and the 40s, you know, of the late gangster, the gangster days of the Bonnie and Clydes and, you know, the Al Capones and the Frank Nitties, you know what I mean? And the list goes on. Even those guys, those cats didn't control the city of Chicago. Capone, as it sound to us learning coming up, and you hearing the stories, you see the movies, oh, Al Capone ran Chicago. Nah, he didn't. Nah, he a goddamn, damn lie. There's no way Al Capone ran Chicago, the whole entire city by itself when there was other gangsters. There was other outlaws. You feel what I'm saying? So there was no way for him he would have to kill everybody or make every criminal say, okay, we're going to submit and be up under Al Capone umbrella, period. And it was never that way because he had criminals of all elements.
Hold on, Cap. I got to disagree with you on that one. Now you are right. At one point, it was other gangsters, the Irish mob. It was another mob that Al Capone went to war with. But we got to remember the Valentine's Day Massacre, and that's when Al Capone killed all his rivals and took total control of Chicago.
Well, on that note, yeah, well, I guess you're right. Then I guess I can stand to be corrected on that note. But again, what did he do? He had to take out all his allies.
Facts.
Feel me?
Facts. Yeah, facts.
And at that time, in that dimension of Chicago in the 40s and the 50s, maybe it was possible. But we're talking about right now or in this era, the 21st century. I can't see that happening. He couldn't do that today. He couldn't do that today.
No.
Reason why, I'm gonna tell you why, huh? The reason why he was able to control and do that and maintain and do that, and him and others who went down in the history books, is because time was different. People were different. The fear factor was totally different. Feel me?
Facts.
You dealing with a world where, nigga, just because Al Capone and his crew got guns, well, nigga, we got plenty of them over here too. And you got niggas as shooters.
You know, so crazy. you bring that point up, Cap. These days, and some of these youngsters growing up, especially in cities like Chicago, they'll get a hard on killing a nigga like Al Capone.
Yeah, just to know, nigga, I killed Al Capone. Feel me, son? I killed Al Capone. Now imagine that. So there's no way if we live in the existence of it today, and it shows you right now today, there's no way that they could control. They would have controlled the city in the 21st century like that, like they did back in the 30s and 20s when guns was scarce. You didn't have millions of guns around, bro. So the only people that actually literally had guns were either the outlaws and the sheriffs. Not all the citizens of the world carried guns. They were afraid of guns. They was modern citizens. They were workers. They was trying to, live their dream, their American dream. So they were scary. The motherfuckers wasn't trying to go to war and be shot and be killed. So it was easy to control a person of fear like that. You're not coming in no city and take over motherfuckers who already established themselves or trying to establish themselves in their names without a fucking war on your hands. A major war. So it was easier for him to do that then and take out his allies because everything was squared off different. He had a better angle to be able to get to each one of them simultaneously like he did. Here is in this era, in this time frame, it's impossible, bro. That's why I said it would never be one man could control now one of these cities. None of the major big cities will never be controlled by one individual, bro. It can't happen. Now, from this, it can. This I can say. If one individual can take the mind frame and embed that righteous information to them certain individuals who are leaders and influencers like himself, then it's a possibility of that happening. And it's only going to happen because they're consolidating now a round table, which is what the mob ended up doing, right? Because there was so many of them that started merging. Lucky Luciano, Al Capone, the Frank Nitti, which was an outlaw within itself. He was a hitman and a robber and a jacker. So they used to hire that motherfucker because he was hard-headed. They didn't ever kill Frank Nitti. You feel what I'm saying? So it was certain things that Capone did do and he didn't do. So, yeah, he took control of certain. I would say, in agreements to what you said about taking over Chicago, again, I'm going to agree but disagree that I don't think he maintained and ran the whole entire city of Chicago because you got south side of Chicago, you got the west, you got north. So it was like he ran the inner city, is what I feel. But all of Chicago, all the way out to different counties and different suburbs of Chicago, I don't think so, man. You know what I mean? So it's just how it was worded and taught to us. So in our mind, we feel that way because that's how it was worded and taught to us.
Yeah.
But if you look at the reality of it, you're gonna be like, damn, Cat is right because there was other criminals and other gangsters doing other shit that Capone didn't control. He wasn't getting paid off all the niggas who was stealing and robbing, and they was reporting to him and breaking him off a piece because they want to rob the bank. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't control that. He controlled his trades, which was the racketeering, you know what I mean? The cotton, the bootlegging, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. Yeah. That was the controlment. Why they mean by he ran shit because he instilled that fear to all the business people.
Yeah.
So you got to understand the breakdown of the shit, how the control came about, or how can you even put that in effect?
Okay, listen, that's a good point.
You've been struck by lightning bolt, man. You know what I mean? R.O.E, man, 2023, man. Spliff DTV, man. HTX, man, current news, man. Watch satellite news, baby. Watch satellite news. Y'all already know what to do, man. We getting it in right now, man. It's your favorite YouTube twins, man. Yeah, I got you today, huh? Boy, no stutter, though. No stutter box. Baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So, yeah, man, out there, TV land, we need y'all to know, man, there is a separation when it comes to Los Angeles and these different regions and counties within Los Angeles. Like Orange County is Orange County. It has nothing to do with LA. Anaheim is a part of Orange County. It ain't got nothing to do with LA. That's a county within itself, a city within itself. Feel me? Orange County, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's just an example. You got San Bernardino as a county. San Bernardino is not considered as Los Angeles City. But if someone go out of town and you say, where you from? Oh, I live in San Bernardino. Oh, you from LA? You in LA? Well, yeah, I'm in LA County, but I'm live San Bernardino County. So it's like you got to break it down in order for others to understand it. Because if not, all they gonna know is Los Angeles. It's like when you go to New York and somebody tell y'all I'm from New York. First thing people say, "Oh, you from New York?" They don't understand. It's broke down to different boroughs,
Yeah.
different suburbs, and different counties, just like ours. Same as
Yeah.
Philly. You know what I mean? Same. You go to Philly. You know, you go to New Orleans, different states. It's gonna be broke down. Texas, same way. You know what I mean? You go to Texas. Everybody, when you say Texas, they think Texas, and the first thing they think is just Houston. When you got Dallas, you got Austin, you got San Antonio, you got Fort Worth, you know what I mean? Funktown, Murderworth, you know what I'm saying? And the list goes on. Man, listen here, man. When you've been tuned in, man, tapped in, man, to the best, man, the dynamic dude, man. We had to come on here and sizzle you today again, sizzle you again with some good fire, man. You already know how we do it, man. I'm your host, man, Bonnie Hunter BJ, man, the brand, CEO Nino Cappucino, Big Unk Run Shotgun, man. Y'all know what to do. The mighty W, Watts. We are taught to survive. Braka! Ah! Yeah!